In the 1980s, the Thatcher government removed controls on lending, allowing banks to create new money and lend it in the form of mortgages. It was argued that these changes, and others like the sale of council houses, would widen access to home ownership, and home ownership did continue to rise, albeit more slowly than before, until the early 2000s. But all this new lending also increased house prices and helped to cause the financial crisis. With banks free to create new money in the form of mortgages, more money was chasing after the same amount of housing stock, allowing prices to rise. House prices in 2017 were 10 times higher than they were in 1979. Buying an average house now costs 8 times average earnings, compared to just 5 in 2002, and the value of land has soared to over £5 trillion. Rather than being a place for people to live in, housing and the land underneath it has become an asset for owners and investors to use to make money. And most bank lending and household borrowing now consists of mortgage debt. This means that financial stability now depends on house prices, and the Bank of England has consistently highlighted mortgage debt as a risk to the UK economy. The massive growth in lending and increase in house prices has also damaged the rest of the economy. It has sucked lending away from more productive investment, like startups, high street shops, and manufacturers. So what's the solution? At IPPR, we think the Bank of England should be given a target to control house price inflation. This would stabilise expectations, allowing earnings to catch up with house prices. The Bank of England would use its powers over lenders to control how much credit they can give out to fund house purchases. It could regulate loan-to-value and debt-to-income ratios and set limits on how much banks can lend against property, with different controls for different parts of the country and different types of buyer. And since house prices are also determined by supply, the Bank of England should be able to request that the government does more to ensure the building of affordable homes. In the long run, a house price inflation target will bring house prices down, and it will put buying a home back into the reach of ordinary people.